If you are here on the West Coast, good afternoon. If you are on the East Coast, and good evening. If you are in the UK or Paris, we are here every week with my man MJ. That's Michael Jordan, the best to ever do it. Good morning, Daryl.
Good morning, Todd. How you doing, buddy? Man,
Unbelievable.
hey guys, when I talk to Todd all the time, every day he and I are having conversations, doing three-way calls, etc. And he always introduces me as that. So again, every time I get on the phone with Todd, I guess Todd, here's the reason why I guess I like it, because you say these amazing things about me, and that just makes me, well, let me call Todd. Let me call Todd. I need another dose of energy and excitement and love. Let me call Todd. And guys, I give it right back to him because again, out of everybody I've dealt with in the last 35 plus years in this industry, Todd is arguably the number one guy in the industry. And guys, I've been around all of them, from the biggest to the smallest to the middle, all of that. When you talk about straight out network marketer, you talk about straight out leader, you talk about straight out doing conference calls, and we call them what? The human AI. So Todd, right back at you. And again, it is an honor. It is a pleasure to always get together with you. So if I'm the MJ, I'm gonna call you the Larry Bird, man, because that was one of my favorite players, even in college when he was playing against you, Michael, or Magic Johnson. Then we got in the pros and just started killing everybody. He became one of my favorites of all time as well. So what's up, Bird?
It brings up a great subject, by the way, because guys, obviously, when I compliment Daryl, it's an absolute genuine. I mean, he's unbelievable, the most articulate speakers, eloquent. His training, the stuff you hear every week. I mean, you can go to a Tony Robbins seminar, spend $2,000, and not learn the stuff you learn from Daryl every week being here. But it does bring up a great subject, which is, guys, one of the secrets to success is catch people doing something right. Everyone's out there looking for a reason to, you did that wrong. Everyone in the world is trying to catch people doing something wrong. You need to try to catch people doing something right, right? I mean, you can travel the entire planet, and there's not one statue for a critic. Here he is, the greatest critic that ever lived. I mean, they don't build statues for critics, right? There's 10,000 critics, right? They build statues for people that are doing things. And be someone, man, to catch them doing something right, not catch them doing something wrong. Find the good, and there's good in everybody. Everybody's a genius in their own way, right? Michael Jordan, right? I mean, he was a genius in the things he could do with his body, the way he could move his body and his athleticism and his grace. I mean, he could move through the air like in a way like a great painter paints a painting. He just did it physically through the air. I mean, other people are great orators. Other people are geniuses in math or engineers or designers. They can put things together. They can build things. They can solve problems. Some people have great empathy. For other people, they can relate. They can make people feel better, right? Some people are great at, math. I mean, like English and literature, right? We are all geniuses in some sort of a way. And so there's something magical about everybody. Now, some people try to cover that up, right? With a lot of other stuff, right? But catch people doing something right. And obviously give them a genuine compliment. And when you're genuinely complimenting people, guess what? You just heard from Daryl. Man, I like talking to Todd because he makes me feel good about me. Well, if you're making people feel good about them, I don't care if it's the waiter, the waitress, I don't care if it's the cashier. And I get it. If you've been to a restaurant, we've all been with a waiter or waitress, right? That maybe, they're having a bad day, right? Maybe they're a little grumpy, but try to be empathetic, right? This is probably somebody that's got kids, they got a spouse, they got traffic, they got car problems, they got this, they're not saying making the most money. And again, they got real problems like everybody else. Hey, maybe you need to be the one that helps brighten their day, right? You need to be the one that gives them a compliment. Say, hey, man, I know you're slammed. I know you're busy. I know it's a tough day. I know it's an ugly day out there. You know what? Maybe give them a little extra tip, right? Make them feel good. Maybe you need to be the one that brings some sunshine to their day. And guys, trust me, when you are doing that all the time, and you're a person who makes other people feel good, right? When you give a rose, the scent of the rose stays on your hand too, right? When you make other people feel good, it's going to make you feel good about making them feel good, right? It's going to lift you up. It's going to lift your spirits up. Be the bigger person, right? Hold the door for people, right? I've brought this up before. When I walk through a parking lot and I'm heading into the store, if I see someone emptying their grocery cart, I'm heading that way. Guys, I'm heading that way anyway, right? Hey, can I grab your cart? I'm heading that way. And oh yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I don't always stop and have a conversation, bring up Travorium. Just be the kind of person that you bring sunshine to other people's lives. And when you make that a habit, I'm someone that I'm complimenting people. I'm open the door. I got a cart full of groceries. Someone behind me's got 2 items. Hey, go in front of me, right? I mean, you got 2 items, right? I'm not going to make you wait behind me, right? Be that kind of person, right? Be the kind of person, hey, nope, you go first, right? Be that kind of person. It's that servant leadership, that servant mentality, that I want to make other people feel good mentality. And when you make that a habit, you're going to find out that people like being around you because it's just who you are. It's what you do. In fact, just last night, I got my mother-in-law, father-in-law here. Just last night, we had the little fireplace on, and my wife says, "Hey, you gonna shut this off?" She's like, "Oh, no, don't shut that off." And I could tell that she was chilled, so I went and grabbed a blanket, brought it to her, and she goes, "That's why you're my favorite." I mean, I wasn't trying to be her favorite. I was just being courteous, right? But again, when you're that kind of person, right, people want to be around you. If you've never read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, guys, it is one of the all-time greats that you need to have. Put on your list. You need to, read it, read it again, right? Again, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I've met people before, right? And I sometimes make the joke. I think they just wrote the book, How to Lose Friends and Uninfluence People. I mean, you don't want to be that person. Be the person how to win friends and influence people, right? Be that kind of person. Because again, when people like you, they want to be around you. Now, by the way, this is especially true because we're heading into a political season. And so often, the presidential election, okay, and I've had this theory for a long time, the presidential election sometimes comes down to which of the candidates, I don't care if they're independent, Republican, or Democrat, which of the candidates do most of the people like the most, right? Which of these two candidates do we like the most, right? So if you go back to like Bush versus Gore, now I don't care which guy you support or which guy you like, right? But, sometimes Gore, who was unbelievably intelligent and articulate and smart, but he was just a little stiff. And here comes Bush, who's not necessarily the most articulate. No one said, man, that guy's a Pulitzer Prizer. He didn't come across as the most intelligent, right? Again, I'm not bashing Bush, right? But he was a little more likable. Well, guess which one got elected? When Obama came along, the guy was unbelievably likable, right? I mean, he got the huge smile, he had the charisma. So sometimes, even in presidential politics, we like to think it's this or this or this. No, sometimes it comes down to which of these two clowns do I think I could tolerate for the next 4 years when I got to watch them on television every day. And I'm going to vote sometimes for the guy that I happen to like maybe more than the other person, right? And so again, sometimes it comes down to just that, right? So guys, practice that in your own business. Didn't mean to bring that subject up today, but Daryl, we started there and I wanted to go there because I think it's so important, so apropos to just your daily mindset, man. Who am I going to go out and make smile today? Who am I going to make happy today? And when you make that a habit, you become someone. It's not just something you turn on because you want to make money. It's something who you become. It becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, well, man, I'm making people happy. They like being around me. And guess what? People do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Right. Todd, again, man, just that right there is enough for people to go have an amazing day and also help other people have an amazing day. Guys, give them some hearts on that because, again, just 10 minutes into this, 10 minutes into this, you guys have got an amazing amount of information that can really impact your day, can impact your life. No question about it. And guys, if you haven't run into a Todd or Daryl or somebody that's encouraging you, maybe your spouse could do a better job. Maybe you could do a better job at encouraging your spouse. Sometimes you got to do it yourself. And you guys know, I talked about it about a month ago, Marie and I, when we go to bed, we talk about, what are we thankful for? So you just got to think, what are we thankful for today, just for today, and it could be for life as well. And then the second question, like Todd was just talking about, what did we do right today? So maybe nobody else said anything about you doing something right, but what did I do right today? I opened up the door I held the door open, at Nordstrom or Neiman Marcus or whatever store you shop at. I took the cart from an individual. I contacted somebody. I did something, that empowered me. I worked on my business.
I walked 10,000 steps.
Yeah, exactly. It could be anything. So sometimes you have to encourage yourself out there until you meet other people that are going to be like that. And here's what I found that what happens. Whatever you start doing, that's what's going to come back to you. I've got this here, Todd. And when you were just talking about when you go out and help people, let me show you guys this right here. When you go out and help people, check this out. If I have one of these here and then I just pull one, on the other side, one goes out and one comes back. Now, if I take it and I do two, I've got two going out and two coming back on both sides. So you can see it. You can see this. Here we go. Here, let me do three. Oh, see, I'm holding it. So it should actually be stable down. But if I'm holding it down, you got three. Here, can I get something to set this on? Because I want to show this.
No, you can tell. You can see the three going.
Yeah, you can see the three. If I put four, then you see that you got four coming back. Here, let me see if I do it in front of me. Okay, can get out of my hand. So I want to show you what Todd was talking about. The reason he gets. So if I did four of these, okay,
Let me do it.
I'm gonna have my partner do it as usual. Okay, so you got four, and whatever you're going in, whatever you're putting out is what you're bringing back. Energy out, please take it. Energy out is energy back into you. And that's what you guys got to understand. It's a law, and the law is called cause and effect. Whatever you are putting out, you are getting back. And if you are not happy with the results that you're getting, you need to change what you are putting out. The reason I say these wonderful things about Todd and do the things that we do, and people say the things about us, is because we're putting out that energy. The reason we're successful and doing great things, because we're putting out that energy. The reason people smile at us when we're walking and we're doing different things, because that's the energy we're putting out. So I want to make this clear. If you're not happy with the energy or with the results that you're getting, you have to look at what are you putting out. That is a law. It is the law of cause and effects, and it is just as powerful as gravity. You could be on a 10-story building and you drop an apple off, whether you like gravity or not. Gravity, the law of gravity is going to work. The apple is going to fall. And the same thing with cause and effect. So sometimes you have to be careful with your thinking. That's why we recommend 10 pages of a good book. That's why we recommend reading or watching, 15 or listening to 15 minutes of a good audio, because when you're doing those things, those are the type of things you're attracting. If you're watching the news all day long and it's shooting after shooting, death after death, negative after negative, then those are some of the things that you are bringing back in on you. And these are little simple minor tweaks that if you make, your life can literally change, and you can control that. So what are you putting out is what you're going to be getting back. You want to change it, start putting out different things, put out a different energy, and you're going to have different energy come back to you. But Todd, I just wanted to kind of add that on to what you were just talking about. It makes so much sense, and that's the reason you're walking around smiling 99% of the time. Me and Maria as well.
No, by the way, yes. And Maria, I mean, she's always got a smile. She always lights the room up, right? She brings that in. I mean, are you someone that walks in the room and you brighten the room, or do you walk in the room and you dim the room? And there's a great quote. We do not see the world as it is. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are, right? So the world, what you see in the world is not the way things are. You see the world as you are. If you meet people that are negative, they bring up all the negative in the world. If you see people that are positive, they bring up all the positive in the world. Both are true. It's like they had the glass, right? Half empty, half full. Both are true. But how do you see it, right? And what you put out, another great quote is that the way you see the world, the way you see other people, it's just a mirror reflecting back to you. The energy you put out is the energy you get back. The vibe you put out is the vibe you get back. If you think, oh my gosh, all these people are ugly and nasty and mean, you might want to look in the mirror, because, again, that means that's probably what you're putting out, maybe without even knowing it, right? And you guys can change all of that by changing your energy, changing your mood. Now, another big subject is that, hey, I've got a spouse that's not so supportive of what I'm doing here in the business. And that's obviously a big time subject. But guys, maybe they're negative because you haven't followed through on some commitments in past. Maybe this isn't your first company And the last one you didn't do the things you were supposed to do. You didn't get the result you're supposed to get. And maybe they have a little bit of a reason to be negative, right? You got to kind of look in the mirror, right? And maybe you have to overcome that, right? You're going to have to be extra diligent, extra disciplined. Maybe you need to do some extra things. You're writing them a note, you're going out of your way, you're cleaning the kitchen, you're doing this, you're doing that. Hey, thank you so much for letting me try this. I mean, you have to be the bigger person, right? And maybe overwhelm them with kindness, overwhelm them in a lot of other ways, and then also overwhelm them with your discipline and diligence in doing the business so that you get a result that makes them think, wow, oh my gosh, look at you, you're a 1-star, you're a 2-star, you're a 3-star. Trust me, I've never met a negative spouse of an ambassador, ever. When you're depositing a check in the bank, that negativity goes away, right? They may not even be the biggest fan, but the negativity goes away when you have a check with a comment in it. So maybe you got to become the kind of person, right? Where I got to prove to them, I got to do the extra, right? I got to go out of my way to maybe undo some of the sins of the past. Not that you were sinful, but I mean, some of the errors of the past. Maybe previous times I wasn't as disciplined. I didn't follow through. Maybe the previous time I hadn't selected a good company. Well, guys, you have the right company. You got the right product. You got the right situation. In fact, I did a Zoom just last night, Daryl. I was doing it for Larissa and Eager and their whole team, right? And I was with Dave Hart the other day, and he was reading a list of the top 20 income earners in the company. And on that list of the top 20, a lot of them, obviously we have a lot of people from the French team and you guys and us and Deborah Taylor and Yanni Seguinall. I mean, there was a lot of people from the past, right? But I want to say that 60% of the list were people who've joined just most recently in the last year, year and a half, right? 2 years. You're thinking like, well, how could that be? I thought people who got in early made all the money, guys, because you're in at the right time. We didn't look the way we are today 3 years ago, 4 years ago. If you would have been here in 2015, we hadn't even decided to be a travel company yet. We still had a lot of, we had the mobile app and you could save money at Walmart, PetSmart, Kmart. I mean, we've had travel since day one, but we weren't focused on travel only. When we decided to focus on travel only, we didn't have getaways. We didn't have world tours. Yeah. We didn't have, the trip incentive. When we first started promoting, we were bragging about as an ambassador, man, you can make $4,200 a month. That's 3 times as much as you get paid to the companies. Guys, today, the ambassadors this month made over $11,000. The power up bonus off the chart. The growth bonus off the chart. The ambassadors made over $11,000 this month. That was not the case when we got started. It was $4,000. And by the way, you got paid $4,000 for promoting the travel site and the travel site only, right? Mm-hmm. So you had not as much product. You didn't have getaways, trip incentives, world tours. You didn't have people that had gone here and done that. You didn't have a lot of people that were making money. The whole thing was somewhat new. Like, hey, how many people around here making money? Well, not very many, but hey, but we're going to. I mean, it was a tougher presentation. Well, how old is your company? Well, we just kind of started the travel thing. And I mean, yeah, okay, well, yeah, come back and talk to me in a couple of years. I mean, today, guys, we have the established company, right? Our home office no longer holds us. We're in the process of getting a new home office. And this is info that maybe I shouldn't be sharing, right? But Danny Segwell was in town. In fact, it was an unbelievable night, Daryl. Danny was in town on Tuesday, or was it Monday? No, Tuesday. I can't keep track. Anyway, Danny was in town. And so he comes over to my house, right? We're in the backyard. I'm on a Zoom. He's on a Zoom. He's up on my spa doing Zooms, right? We're saying hi to each other's people, right? And then we end up going over to Dave Hart's house that night. We have this incredible dinner. And guys, the conversation was flowing, right? I mean, we got there, I don't know, 7 o'clock, 7:30 somewhere. Next thing I know, it was 10 o'clock at night. And the conversation is just unbelievable. It's 11 o'clock at night. It's midnight. It's 1 a.m. It's 2 a.m. Like 2 a.m. I got a Zoom in the morning. I mean, it's like Danny had a flight. He was going to Tahiti. He's like, I got to be up in 3 hours and head to the LAX airport. And so, but it was one of those kind of nights, right? But anyway, Dave was showing us the plans for the new home office. He got out the design. Okay, we're going to put the people, we're going to all the customer support. We call this the bullpen here. We got the travel people over here. And there's a good chance we're taking over the Wells Fargo bank. And they have a vault in it. because I'm having the vault removed. Me and Danny like, no, don't remove, leave the vault. That would be awesome. Let's, you know what? We'll have the people who make the videos and come up with the new stuff. We'll put them in the vault, right? We'll put the computer that pays everybody in the vault, right? We were having all kinds of fun about the vault. You got to leave the vault. And so again, well, I don't know if we're going to take over that building. There's a good chance we're going to take over that building. There's also a possibility he's going to buy a building. Guys, that is where we're at as a company, right? He might just go buy the building, right? He tried to buy the building we're in now. And so, I mean, we're growing, we're adding people, we're hiring people. And we have the satellite office. I mean, sales, we just had a record January in sales. I mean, guys, we're doing this. And I know that may not mean much to you, but Daryl and Maria and me and Gina and Dave and a number of other people have been through what we call momentum before. We were part of a company where we're doing what we're doing now, and it was growing fast. But guys, we hit January in the year 2000, and we were doing $2 million a month. And next thing you know, we went and we started growing by $1 million a month. We added $1 million a month. That's when it starts doing this, right? You want to have a team as big as possible before that happens, right? The bigger your team is before we go into momentum, the bigger that 10x, 20x that happens is going to happen to you. And so you want to be working as hard as you possibly can, because today we're pre-momentum. Today, most people have not heard about us, right? That will not always be the case. I'm hearing more and more stories on a regular basis of someone in the UK. Oh my gosh, that guy, I can't believe he knew a leader in the United States that signed up, but he didn't call them. I mean, I'm hearing those kinds of stories like, oh my gosh, I can't believe so-and-so just joined the business. That guy's a big time leader. I meant to call him. I didn't, I mean, I just can't believe he heard about this already. Guys, the word is getting out that we are doing something special. We're doing things unlike any other company ever before. And so today we want to talk about how do I cash in on that? And one of the things I want to remind you guys of is that the number one skill, there's 8 skills you have to learn, right, to really master the business, right? And Daryl's got a great way of doing it. John Maria, they talk about the 4 things, right? You got to learn to share share the opportunity, share the product. You got to build for events, and obviously self-improvement, right? So those are the 4 major skills. Well, I break it down to like 8 finite skills, right? Where number 1, finding prospects. And that's the number 1 skill. How do I find prospects? Well, guys, I'm willing to bet huge money that most of you have not contacted every single person inside your mobile phone. You can open up your mobile phone and you can scroll to the bottom. It will tell you how many contacts you have. Have you contacted every single one of them? No. And I'm willing to bet huge money. The answer for 99% of you is no, I have not. Because you've made up reasons and excuses and, well, you don't understand these people. They would never. Guys, you have to get that out of your head. I promise you, the ones you think are going to do it won't. The ones you think that won't do it will. And you never know where a conversation is going to lead you. I talked to a lady just last week, and she's like, oh, I'll never do this, do that. I don't travel. I got this problem, that problem. And she's going 10 million miles a minute, convincing me how she would never do this. And then in the middle of the whole thing, she goes, but you ought to really talk to my daughter. She loves to travel. Really? What's her number? I mean, guys, even when you're talking to the person, and you're right, they're never going to do it. They might bring up, you ought to talk to my neighbor. You ought to talk to my father. You ought to talk to my brother. You ought to talk to my daughter. You ought to talk to my friend. She's always doing stuff like this. You never know where that next contact is going to come from. Have you contacted every single person in your phone? If the answer is no, and for 99% of you, you have not, then you are messing up. You are not doing everything you can to build your business. Now, if you have contacted everyone in your phone, have you contacted everyone that you are friends with on Facebook? Well, I don't know all those people, Todd. I don't care. You are friends with them on Facebook. They friended you. You have a reason and a right to reach out to them and say, hey, how you doing? Happy birthday. Start a conversation. You're a professional conversation starter. The same is true with Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, right? Snapchat. I mean, all the different social media platforms, right? Have you reached out to every single person you know? Next, have you pulled out your address book? Some of you are old enough to still have that old-fashioned address book. Who do we send Christmas cards to? because your Aunt Ione and your Aunt Lucille, that I have an Aunt Ione, Aunt Lucille, they're not on social media. They're not on Facebook, right? They don't have mobile phones either. Their technology curve stopped at the cordless phone. So you have to, you have to physically call them or mail them, right? So just pull out the old address book, comb through there. Are there any names in this book that I do not yet have on my list, right? Well, when you're done with that, you pull out the yearbook. Are there any classmates that I went to school with, right? Grade school, middle school, high school, right? You're going through that. Well, when you're done with that, you can Google, and we need to print this, by the way. You can Google all of the different types of professions that there are in the world. And then you go down. Hey, who do we know that's a policeman? Oh my gosh, remember? Oh yeah, I forgot all about that guy. I forgot we knew that guy. I remember so and so's wife is a policeman. I mean, so you go through, who do I know that's a policeman? Who do I know that's a fireman? Who do I know that's a plumber? Who do I know that's a teacher? Who do I know that does construction? Who do I know that's a handyman? Who do I know? You're going through all the different professions.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're coming up with all these new names. Well, when you're done with that, I want you to pull out your visa statement, pull out your checkbook. Who do I spend money with? Who's your dry cleaner? Who sold you your house? Who sold you your car? Who sold you the shirt that you're wearing? Who sold you your iWatch? Who sold you your eyeglasses, right? I mean, on and on and on. Who are you spending money with? If you're spending money with them, shouldn't they at least take a look, right? Hey, I'm a good customer of yours. Shouldn't you at least give me the courtesy of looking at a 10-minute video? Maybe you're going to hate it. I'm okay with that. I just want you to take a look, right? Who are you spending money with? When you're done with that, you can pull out a map of the United States. Who do I know in California? Who do I know in Nevada? Who do I know in Montana? Who do I know in Missouri? Who do I know in Florida? Who do I know in New York? Who do I know in whatever state it is? When you're done with that, you pull out the global map. Who do I know that lives in the UK, Australia, Canada, right? And maybe you don't know many people internationally yet, right? But who do I know around the globe? Okay. When you're done with that, then you can say, all right, well, how can I put myself in a position to meet new people every single day? Now, we were talking about politics a moment ago. If you're somebody that you love politics, I don't care which side of the aisle you're on, get involved. Guess what? There's a campaign coming up. Campaigns for city council, campaigns for mayors, campaigns for people that want to be involved with, education. There's campaigns for people that want to be congressional people, Senate people, campaigns for president's going to be coming up this year. Get involved. You're going to meet 1,000 other people just like you who are passionate about that candidate. And so you're just doing the thing, but in the process, you're going to meet 1,000 brand new people, get their name, get their number, go to dinner, have fun, be a human being first, a marketer second. If you tell me, man, Todd, I don't do political stuff, but I love to bowl. I go to the bowling alley, and man, I'm a pretty good bowler, right? I would say join a bowling league, right? Because there are all kinds of people down there at the bowling alley, Friday night, Saturday night, Tuesday night, and you're meeting all of them. You're hanging out. You're a pretty good bowler. I mean, you're meeting all these people. Well, guess what? These are ways of adding to your contact list, right? This is true for everything. You sew, you needlepoint, you garden. By the way, are you involved in your church? Well, not really. Well, maybe you should be. Most churches are looking for people to volunteer, and so you can be an usher and you can do this, you can do that, right? Well, if you're involved in the church, right, people are going to see you. Oh yeah, I recognize you. You're someone that does communion, or you help usher people, or you help collect the money. Or the churches are always looking for volunteers. Maybe you're in the choir. Maybe you're like Daryl. You're up there on the organ, right? You're looking like Billy Joel while you're playing the organ. And by the way, I've seen Daryl do that. I went to church with Daryl and Maria, and he was unbelievable on the organ. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was incredible. Well, guess what? Everyone else in the church saw Daryl playing the organ. Daryl could be at the grocery store. People he doesn't even know. Hey, you're the guy at the organ. I recognize you. You're somebody who's involved in the church. You're someone that gives out communion. You're someone that does the usher. You're the one at the door handing out the brochure, or the newsletter. You're handing out the newsletter. I mean, I recognize you. So you get people coming up to you sometimes when you're at the store, or you're at Target, or whatever you might be, right? So get involved. Now, Todd, I live in the country. I'm not around very many people. Well, guys, well, where else can I find prospects? Well, social media. There are 3 billion people on social media. Facebook, Instagram alone, 3 billion people. That doesn't even include LinkedIn. You can join LinkedIn. You know that LinkedIn's a place where professional people go to meet other professional people. Did you know that you can go to LinkedIn and you can type in hashtag MLM and it'll pull up other people that have been involved in MLM? And again, you don't want to get into the I'll show you yours if you show mine kind of thing, but you can go on there and you can meet people and you can prospect people. It's a place to start. It's a place you can have conversations. Now, more importantly, let's say you're on Facebook, and we covered this recently. I mean, again, if I'm someone that I love to ride motorcycles, I'm going to join a Facebook group of people that love to ride motorcycles. If I am a Chicago Bears fan, which I am, I pulled this up the other day. There's 20 different Facebook groups for the Chicago Bears. And one of them, just one, had 3.5 million people as part of the group. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Chicago Bears. Okay, 40,000 on that one. I'm looking for one that had 3.5 million people in just one of the groups. That means I can go into the Chicago Bears group and I can go meet 3.5 million people who are passionate about the Chicago Bears, just like me. And if I just talk to 5 of them a day, it's going to take me 700,000 days to talk to all of them. Now, if I do that every day of the year, it's going to take me 1,900 years to talk to 5 people a day that are already part of the Chicago Bears group, right? I'm going to be very, very old. It's going to take me 1,917 years to talk to everybody if I talk to 5 of them a day about something that I am passionate about. They're passionate about it. I talk the Bears language, right? I talk 85 Bears, Mike Ditka, the refrigerator, Walter Payton, right? You can tell when they're a Bears fan, we talk the same Bears kind of language, right? And so I can go in there, we're just talking Bears. Man, what are we going to do with Justin Fields, right? If you guys are not football fans, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you are a football fan, you know that we have a pretty good quarterback, Justin Fields, but we also have the number 1 pick in the draft. And are we going to take the kid out of USC? Are we going to trade back? I heard this other team wants Fields. They may give us a 2nd round pick. I mean, we could talk 40 minutes just about the draft strategy that's coming up for this whole new year. Again, but guys, that's just Chicago Bears. My wife happens to be gluten-free. She has celiac disease. Well, did you know that there's about 20 different groups where there's 60,000 people, 50,000 people, 40,000 people? In fact, again, documentation beats conversation. Let me go Facebook here real quick. Click on Facebook. I click in gluten-free. And she can join one of these groups, and she can go in there. My wife is, always looking for brownie recipes, cookie recipes. Now, remember, when you're gluten-free, you can't eat flour. You can't eat things that have wheat in them. So a lot of the normal cake, any kind of dessert, cookies, brownies, she can't eat that stuff because it all has gluten, right? But she can come here. First group here on the gluten-free, 14,000 members. Second group, 68,000 members, okay? Next group. Oops, I forgot to click on groups. Okay, next here, 14,000 members, 68,000 members. Next group, 73,000 members. Next group, 20,000 members. She can go in there. She doesn't have to talk travel. She can go in there. Oh my gosh, I just had the most amazing gluten-free cookie recipe, the most amazing gluten-free brownie recipe. Oh my gosh, I found these pills that when you eat out and you tell people, hey, I'm gluten-free, you still get gluten in your food sometimes. Every once in a while, the restaurant, cross-contamination, they forget, they mess up. And she's like, oh my gosh, they gave me something with gluten. And if you get gluten, you're miserable. She found these pills you can buy, and you take a couple of the pills, and it's like to counteract the gluten, right? To try to make this process be a little less painful. Most of the members in here don't know about the pills. She can go in there. Oh my gosh, guys, you have to get these pills. They're amazing. Oh my gosh, that was such a great tip. Thank you. Where did you buy them at? Oh, you can get them here, get them there. Guess what? She just started a conversation. You guys are professional conversation starters. And we can continue to go down the list of ways that every day you're talking to 3 to 5 people. Just in the Chicago Bears group alone, it's going to take me 1,900 years if I talk to 5 people a day. So when someone says, well, I don't know anybody, Nobody wants to join. No, you're not having enough conversations. You are not talking to enough people.
Todd, again, it's just awesome, the information, guys. There's enough people anywhere. You just got to get off your butt and go out there and start the conversations. And I know some of you, just like me, believe it or not, when I first started back in the day, I was nervous. I was scared. If I went to a Saturday training physically, you have to be there, not like what we do here on Zooms. And the guy was saying exactly what Todd was saying, how to do this, and here's what you say, and all those wonderful things. And I'm taking notes and I'm excited and I'm got my notes. Okay, I'm going to say this and that. And then when it comes time to put it into application, guys, there's where the fear, the stress, all of that stuff comes. And I can tell you, out of 10 times in the beginning, 9 times I probably shut down and didn't do it. But I knew I needed to persevere. And I finally figured out that somebody that did say no to me, wasn't a hospital experience. The ambulance did not have to pick me up and take me and fix me. It just was, yeah, it bugged me for a minute. Now it doesn't affect me at all. So I'm saying, if you go through that learning curve, you go through the valley of disappointment, you're going to get to the other side. But don't be like the ones who don't go through the learning curve. They'll start and they get the result. They'll go out and do what Todd just asked them to do. And then they didn't get any results after talking to 3 people. And the next thing you know, we don't see those individuals. So don't be like that. Finish the process. Guys, I'm going to give you exact what Todd was just talking about. I'm going to take you step by step through this, what really happened. This is the lady, Jessica. I'll give you her first name. She's on Facebook. And
what's her phone number?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. This was started on December 3rd of 2023. Hello, Jessica. Maria and I would love to show you and your husband the value of what our travel membership can do. This could be a way to help you and your son's baseball expenses. Reach out to us anytime. So again, Todd said, find a group. What group should I look for? Well, we're baseball family. We're on a baseball group. So I put some information on the baseball group, doing exactly what he just talked about. And then her response was, I was just texting you, Mr. Roberts, looking forward to learning more about this, because I had put a little post into the baseball group. And then December 4th, good afternoon, Jessica. Let us know what time you want to connect with us today. Hope you guys are amazing. Gave her my phone number. And then this a little bit later on that evening, Jessica, let me know what works for you. And then December 4th, same day. Sorry, this Monday got a little hectic. Can we do this tomorrow at 8 a.m.? And I said, or in the early morning. And I said, my response, that's 6 a.m. my time. She's in Texas. If we can do it a little later, that would be great. Are you available later tonight? Her response was, same date. Later in the morning would be fine. I'm on the nighttime routine with the kids and putting them to bed. Tomorrow would work best for me. Tell me, my response, tell me what time later we'll make that happen. And she said 12 p.m. my time, 10 a.m. yours. I said, okay, great. So it was December 5th. We sent her the information, the login for the meetup worldwide, all of our stuff there. So she got that, gave me thumbs up on December 7th. Good morning, Jessica. Hope all is well. Did you and your husband, this was after the Zoom we did. Hey, keyword right here. You need to be doing more Zooms, or you need to be plugging more people into Zooms. Well, we're finding out people that are doing more Zooms and people that are plugging people into Zooms, on a consistent basis, like, every day or 4 or 5 times a week, their businesses are exploding. That's just a news flash. Okay, so she put thumbs up. And then, so this is at 9:30 a.m. December 7th. 2 days later. Good morning, Jessica. Hope as well. Did you and your husband discuss saving thousands of dollars? Let me know if you need anything. So then she went silent. This December 8th, I sent her an audio. No response, no response, no response, no response, no response. So December 25th, I used our strategy. It was what? Christmas. So we sent her a Christmas thing. Hey, Merry Christmas. Just want to say hi to you. Didn't even mention anything about the business. Just a Merry Christmas card. I think we trained on that before, right, Todd? Don't you train on that?
Yep.
About the holidays? So again, no response on that. So February 8th, we're in Hawaii. So guys, this follow-up process, you have to have people track and be able to follow up, because if you don't do this, then your person a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now is going to sign up with me or Todd or somebody else if you are not following up properly and you don't keep the proper record. So then we sent them this video.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Aloha from the beaches of Waikiki, Honolulu, Hawaii.
Hey guys, we're here again, just enjoying life. It's about 75 degrees here, about 5 o'clock in the evening. We're just taking a stroll along the beach here. It is just truly unbelievable. Guys, I know so many of you take a look at our videos and take a look at the deals and things that we have. They are real, guys. We travel more, travel better, and travel for less.
Yes.
And we've already helped thousands of other people do the exact same thing. We want to help you do that. So this coming Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock East Coast, Maria and I are going to do a deep dive in our back office.
What's a deep dive?
We're going to show you what we have versus what our friends over at Expedia have. And I say friends loosely. We're going to compare our prices with Booking.com, Expedia. And guys, we're going to kick their butt. We do it every single time. So we have something special. If you want to get there, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, 8 o'clock East Coast, go to meetupworldwide.com. Meet, M-E-E-T-U-P,
Right there.
meetupworldwide.com. Give us 45 minutes to see how we get to travel for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Or you can just keep staying home or spending extra money paying retail. But you don't have to. We don't want you to do that.
We want you to pay wholesale instead of retail.
It's easier than you think. And no,
Yes.
you don't have to tell anybody about it.
Nope.
Hey guys, join us Wednesday. Check it out. You have nothing to lose. We won't even know you're on there, but at least get the facts. God bless.
Okay, so again, I'm doing my follow-up.
Well, guys, give me some hearts on that. Some hearts, some thumbs up. That was fantastic. All right, go ahead.
This is the process, ladies and gentlemen. So now on Sunday, this past Sunday, here's what she wrote. Sorry, it has been a while, but I decided to get I decided to give it a go and start at Tier 1 membership. Please let me know what the next step is. So now I just sent her the information. She just signed up. And guys, that was a process. That started on December 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
December 3rd, 2023, and now just last week, it's February, what is the date?
February 17th.
17th. So that just happened a couple of days ago. It is a process. Some of these take 3 months. Some of them take 6 months. Some of them take a couple of years. The process that Todd and I are teaching you guys here is that it takes time. It's not a transaction that could happen like that. Yes, sometimes do we talk to people and they sign up immediately? 100%. But the majority is going to take follow-up. And one of the things we're going to be teaching next week at our private event here in Vegas with Maria and I, Todd and Gina, we're going to actually be going through the follow-up process, how to do that so you can track people and not forget. How many of you out there, honestly, and this includes me in the past, that have talked to somebody, they have huge potential, and you didn't write the name down, and then you forgot. It was somebody I was talking to, right? And you forgot. Guys, you don't want to do that. That person could be $10,000 a month. But Todd, that was just perfect how you said that. We went through a group, we joined a group, we started the process, and it ended up with a sign up. And it's been multiple times. I can give you other examples as well.
I love the follow-up, and I want to expound upon that. But again, for people that might be in the region, talk about the training next Saturday. People want to come. What do they need to do? Where they need to go? By the way, we booked our room to come over to Vegas, guys, just so you know. And we booked it at New York, New York. We got the room for $178 on Expedia site, $400 and something. We got it for $178 on Expedia, $400 and something, right? Hey, guys, you think I'm not going to share that story? We just got the room for half the price at New York, New York. But go ahead, Daryl, for how do I come to the training next week?
Well, guys, we originally wanted it only for 16 people because Todd and I, Gina and Maria, we wanted to put hands on, and we're going through everything, the back office, the value of the membership, the industry, follow up, how to recruit people, everything you can think of. So we only wanted a small classroom of 16 people. That was it, guys. That sold out in a second. And then so people kept calling, Darren, can we do the Darren? Can we do? And so we added a few more. So we added like 10 more people on there as well. And more people are, hopefully, if you guys want to come, there's 2 more seats that we're going to allow people to come to. It's only 2 more because we want to keep it, right around that 25 people scenario so we can have all day. It's going to be from 9 o'clock. Maria's going to be bringing up the slide in just a second. It's going to be from 9 o'clock Saturday to 6 p.m. on Saturday, all day, hands-on. Todd's not going to talk for 30 minutes. He's going to have 2-3 hours of training and hands-on question and answers, quizzes, tests you guys are going to be taking, writing down goals and objectives, helping you with your old school training in your face, upside down. Again, there's 2 spots that are left on this that we're going to allow people. We could have more people, but we're only going to allow 2 more. Maria's working on the slide. This is kind of unusual. Normally it would be up like 10 minutes ago.
Okay, come on.
But if you want to get access to,
But keep your hands so we can see them, Daryl, because I love how you do this, right? You're hands-free and slides pop up and things slide in, right? For the rest of us, we got to scramble around, but you, hands-free, things are popping.
I just actually gave Maria an idea because we were having problems finding this flyer. I actually was viable to her today. I said, let's just go real quick and show them the flyer. It's on learnthistraining.com. And so it's coming up here, hopefully in a couple of seconds. Tell me when it's up. So I can actually see it. You guys will see it in literally 5 seconds from now. 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys see it?
Coming up right now.
Shazam.
Okay, so if you go to learnthistraining.com, if you want to get one of those last 2 spots, you go to the bottom of the flyer. These are all the stuff we're going to be talking about, guys. It's going to be intense, in your face. You're going to come out with a certificate, everything that you need to make this business work. You just click here to register. Click here to register, and all you do is fill out the information and go from there. So that's it. So if you guys want to get that type of training for Maria and I, Todd and Gina, all day, there's 2 spots left, and first come, first serve, and we'll go from there. But Todd, I'm just excited because the stuff that you train on, the stuff I train on, we use this stuff. It's not like we're just hyperbole or we're talking about it. We're teaching you what we've done over 30 plus years in this industry that has helped us build 5 different companies to the very top. And if we can do it, you can do it. Because if you saw me 35, 36 years ago, you would be saying, how did that guy make it? He must have gone through some transitions and some metamorphoses. That cocoon must have been huge for this guy. And I'm telling you, it is a process, but anybody can do it. And David Hart has made this so easy for us because we're talking about travel. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. No, we're talking about travel, something that everybody wants to do. And if they say they don't like to travel, they're probably lying to you. And if they actually say that and stick to their guns, guys, it's only a few people out of millions that have that type of feeling. Most people would love to have a worst case scenario that while you're learning the things Todd and I and the other leaders around the world are teaching you, you mean I'm going to get 2-3 of these incredible vacations every year? That is the default? Ladies and gentlemen, I've never seen anything like this, and travel is pretty easy to talk about. Todd, I do have a couple of slides to go through, so just real quick, just a couple of things, and if we can get through them, great. If not, we can move on because I'm ready for 12 o'clock today.
Yeah, so that's the next thing I want to bring up. By the way, guys, we're doing a back office deep dive, Travorium versus Expedia, 2 times today, right? It's going to happen at 12 o'clock California time. That's 3 p.m. if you're in the East Coast. That's, by the way, going to be 8 p.m. if you're in the UK, 9 p.m. if you're in Spain. So 12 o'clock California, right? So it's going to be 2 hours and 10 minutes from right now. And then there's going to be another one at 1:30, right? Correct? 1:30?
Yeah.
California time, 4:30 if you're on the East Coast. So guys, we're like church, right? We're going to have a service at 12. Hey, you missed the early morning service. Hey, don't worry. We got another service coming up 1:30. So we got a service at 12 and we got a service at 1:30 today. There we go. Boom. Look at that. hands-free. Daryl's just sitting there like this, flyers pop in. I've tried that a number of times. I've never had the flyer pop in on me yet. But anyway, there it is on the screen, guys. This is the back office deep dive. This is Expedia versus Travorium. This is where we do the live pricing demonstration. Now, it's a full-blown presentation. We're going to talk about the company. We're going to talk about the history of the company. We're going to talk about the product, right? We're going to talk about the compensation program. All that's going to be covered, but in particular, we're going to pull up our site, Expedia, side by side. You're going to watch it do the little search, right? And it pulls up the rooms, same date, same city, same room, their price, our price. And people are like, oh my gosh, it's true. You are 40, 50, 60, 70% less. And guys, it's one thing to hear about it. It's another thing to see it on a slide. It's another thing when you're watching the Expedia thing do its search and pull the room up because they're watching it live. And then they see the price and they watch us do the search and they're like, oh my gosh, look at that. And then we just ask the question, can you think of 3 other friends who might want to save this kind of money on travel? And most of them, can I think of 3? I can think of 33. Well, if you can just get 3 of them at that moment, right, you're going to be earning more than you're spending on an ongoing basis. The membership no longer coming off your credit card on an ongoing basis. You're getting the travel points for free on an ongoing basis. You turn those travel points in for these kinds of vacations. And we're going to show those people the kinds of vacations they can go on. And like, oh my God. I mean, so it clicks. Now, one of the things we're going to teach next week is how to do the back office deep dive. Because I meet people all the time and it's amazing. It seems like we say it 1,000 times. Guys, our system was designed for the 95% of the travelers out there, okay? You can't be all things to all people. Every once in a while, I'll be someone, well, I got a gentleman, he only likes to stay in suites. He only stays in suites. He won't stay in a normal room. And I checked the site, and we're not always saving people as much money. It's only 9% off or 15% off. Well, number one, you're still saving money, all right? Number two, it's on a suite, which is a more expensive room. But number 3, of the millions of people that fly into Vegas, I'm just going to use Vegas as an example. Of the millions of people that fly into Vegas every month, what percentage do you think are asking for suites? 0.5%? I mean, most hotels only have a few suites. The reason there's not big discounts is because they only have a few and they don't have to discount them to sell them because there's only a few. We designed this for the bulk, the other 98%. Man, I'm just looking for a great deal. I don't care if I'm at New York. I could go to the Virgin Hotel. I could be at the Harrah's. I could be at the Mandalay Bay. I could be at the Paris Hotel. I could be at the Aria. I just want a great hotel at a great price. It doesn't matter which one. They're all the same. They're all right next to each other. Most of the people are that way. Our system was designed. We have 13 wholesale feeds that come in, right? We comb through all of that data. And you got to remember that occupancy rate determines how much of a discount. If the hotel is full, they're not offering much of a discount. So we go through all that inventory, all those different places, say based on the city you chose, based on the date you chose, here's who happens to have the best deal at that particular moment. Now, some people, as much as we say that, they still like, well, I want a price compared to this one hotel. Okay. I don't know that hotel is offering much of a discount right now. They just choose a hotel and they started doing price comparisons. Maybe we got a great deal. Maybe we don't, because we don't know if that hotel is full or not. So guys, the way the system works, you got to go to the city, right? You choose the date. You let the system tell you based on the city, here are all the different places you can look. Now, if you have to be at a specific hotel, me and Gina went to a wedding last summer. We wanted to be at a specific hotel. Guess what? The savings weren't as big. There were other hotels in Tahoe where we could have gone for 50% off. The one we went to, we got 22% off, right? But we wanted to be at that specific hotel. So, all right. So for that one, we didn't save as much as we normally do, but guess what? We still saved $376. But across the board, as you travel over and over and over again, every now and then, maybe you have to be at some specific place. But for most people, guys, I just want to go to Miami Beach. I could be anywhere on the beach. It doesn't matter, right? I could be at this hotel, that hotel. They're all 4-star. It doesn't make a difference to me, right? The room service tastes the same over at the Hyatt as it does over at the Marriott, right? There's not really that big of a difference. And so we want to teach you, and we'll be doing this next week, how you guys can do your own price comparisons, right? But today, again, at 12 o'clock California and at 1:30 California, that's 3 o'clock East Coast, 4:30 East Coast. All you have to do is invite people to watch the live pricing demonstration. And again, I've been doing this a lot lately, guys. My presentation is almost as simple. Hey, guys, we're bringing the Netflix model to travel. We are showing people how they can book for 40, 50, 60, 70% off because we don't mark it up. We're doing a live pricing demonstration. I want you to come check it out. When you get to see it on screen, side by side, documentation beats conversation. As we go around the world, you're going to be absolutely blown away. And then I just asked people, can you think of 3 people that might want to book travel for roughly half the price? Like, yeah. Well, if you can get 3 at that moment, you can now start, getting our entire membership at no ongoing cost to you. You get the travel points at no ongoing cost to you. You can turn those in for these kinds of vacations all over the world. You're 3 till 3, they're 3 till 3. Guess what? Now you're making money. Guys, that's my short presentation. I do it a lot, and people are like, yeah, that sounds kind of good. I mean, any questions?
No, any question? Todd, it is just amazing. It is so simple if you just take this serious. Hey, real quick shout out. Hillary Sky just took one of those spots, Todd, just a second ago since we made the announcement. The only challenge is we just got a report. She was so excited, she wrote the wrong email down. So Hillary Sky, if you're still on here, you sent the wrong email. The team needs to,
like this.
Yeah, she was just like, I gotta get that one of the last spots. So Hillary Sky, you need to resubmit your email. It came out wrong. So just want to do that. Todd, one of the things that you said way back when you were talking about your daughter, and I don't know if you remember this, you were talking about you were sharing the people were wondering, well, why are you getting such a better rate? And we're at the same hotel and we're getting this rate. And you say, send the link. Send me the link. They would want to get the link. So I don't know if you've noticed that, but the last couple of weeks, the last week and a half, Maria and I have been incorporating that throughout our presentation. We go through one thing in Vegas, or we go to Orlando and we're doing the do, and we say, guys, we're going to stop right now. Just ask the person to send you their link and get signed up. We can stop the presentation. So we do that 2 or 3 times through the process now. You'll hear it today for those of you that are on here. Well, Gary just enrolled Krista Swinson. And the first thing she said after the presentation we just did was yesterday or the day before on Thursday, she said, send me the link. So if you kind of direct them, that was his take. And Gary said, well, what is she talking about? Send me the link. So she got the link, and other people are starting to do that. And when you finish a presentation, so if you got guests on, here's what you want to do. Hey, I just want to send you my link. Send that to them. If they don't respond to you, you just say, here is my link. I want to send you my link. So they've heard link 2, 3, 4 times associated with, I want to sign up. I want to be a part of this. That sometimes pushes them in the right direction you want them to go. So, do that. They'll either do it for themselves, or you just want to follow up with them doing it as well.
I know we're at the top of the hour. You want to pull up your slides?
Yeah, real quick, Maria. Let's bring up these slides. Let me see if I can just do it right here. Maria's not here anymore. She had to go.
Both hands. You guys, you do both.
She had to go in the room, so I'm just gonna come on, slide. Come on,
use the force. Use the force.
Real quick, use the force, guys. I couldn't do any of this stuff if Maria was not here. Believe me, I'm just so dependent on her now. I don't have to learn technology, etc. So. It's pretty amazing. Okay, you guys always know we already start our day off with this. Some of you guys have copied this and used it. We're grateful. We're thankful. Always 100% chance of winning when you attend trainings. Get better is how you improve, not only in your business, but in your mindset. You're going to feel inspired. You're going to feel encouraged. You want to do better. This is why we're here every single Saturday. You need to be saying this every single day. Today's forecast. Our business is not a lottery. I want you guys to understand this. Our business is not a lottery where you can just get lucky. It's not. I hope you can find someone that will make you rich, 100%. But this happens not by accident. It doesn't happen by accident. You have to be on purpose. You got to be plugged in and doing the things that you need to do to create the success. And we go over it every single week, the things that you need to do to create success for your businesses. Everything happens to be the same for everyone. And there are tons of people earning serious money, and you can actually be next. But have you made a choice to try the business, or have you made a decision to become successful in it? Your success or failure lies with your answer. So when you make that decision, your life is going to change. And too many people waffle around in today, out tomorrow. You make a decision, I promise you, things are going to change for you. Things are going to get better. If you knew what it felt like to be financially free, ladies and gentlemen, you would be in a hurry to get there. You would be talking to 10 or 15 people a day. You'd be failing and having challenges and issues and all of these things that we talk about, because it does happen. You know, before you can have success, you got to embrace failure. And when you understand that failure is part of the process, then your life will change. It's not an end all when things happen. Check this out, guys. This is our friend right here, Warren Buffett. If you don't have to be smarter than the rest. You have to be more disciplined than the rest. So if you're a dum-dum out there, and I don't mean it like that, guys, you know, because again, well, I'm not even going to go there. But my point is you don't have to be smart to do this. You just have to be disciplined to do this. And if you do that, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. And the other pick, it said it's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates and friends whose behavior is better than yours, and you will drift in that direction. Let me hit on that just a little bit more. You become, we talk about this all the time, ladies and gentlemen, you become the average of the 5 people that you associate with on a regular basis. Don't spend major time with minor people. Go back and listen to that video that what I just said there. People that are doing nothing, they want you doing nothing with them. People going nowhere want you going nowhere with them. If you want to change your life, you have to change your relationships. It is so important. Now, let me get in the nitty-gritty here. If you're earning $50K a year, take inventory of the 5 friends that you hang out with. That's about what those folks are actually earning. You become the average of the 5 people you hang out with. You're not going to earn a penny more until you start hanging out like next Saturday all day with me and Maria, Todd, and Gina, and you start hanging out with people like that. You start hanging out with people earning $75K a year, $150K a year, $280K a year, $1 million a year. And there'll be people here next weekend that are making $1 million, ladies and gentlemen. And those are the type of people you want to hang out, because there's a system. Here's the deal. Here, I want to bring this to the next level here. There's a system for everything in life. If you're getting C's and D's in school, all you know how to do is get C's and D's, because that's at the system. There's a system for getting C's and D's, whether you understand that or not. Now, there's a different system for getting an A. If you want to get A's, you have to hang out with people that are getting A's, and then you have to copy their system. Give me some hearts if that makes sense to you. If this is a breakthrough moment for you, because we just dumb this down so simple. This is the way I learned. It's got to be dumbed down for me. If you want to become an ambassador, you better start hanging out with ambassadors and copying their system. I gave you a clue today. People that are doing Zooms, people that are plugging massive people into Zooms consistently, not one every other week or one every month, those people's business are exploding. You are ranking up level after level after level, but it has to be that. So look back over the last 30 days and ask yourself, how many Zooms have I done? Now, question number 2, how many Zooms have I been on? How many Zooms have I been on and I've had guests on? Those are the systems you got to put in place. And if the answer is 0, 1, or 2 over the last 30 days, then Todd gave you some insight, some information on how you can go out and recruit people, how you can go out and start interacting with people. I even gave you the example of a baseball group I joined, and I sent the message there. And while I was texting her, she was texting me the information. It's no limit of people that are out there, but you have to get off your butt and go get them. So again, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you. Guys, here, I'm only going to hit this because we're going to go big time detail into this next week. But these are some questions you want to ask yourself. What do you want? I talk to people all the time in the business every day, and they don't even know what they want. Sometimes they say, well, ambassador, and they just kind of say it because obviously that's a premium spot, and you get to ambassador and above, people want to get there. Are you willing to go after it? That's a question you got to ask yourself first, and then you got to ask your teammate. Are you willing to go after this? Because again, you're going to have to put in some time and some effort if you want to be successful. Do you take personally when do you take it personal when someone says no? I did when I first started 36 years ago. It crushed me until I found out it wasn't a hospital type of situation. And then I started getting them and it didn't affect me whatsoever. I figured out the more no's I get, the quicker I was going to get to a yes. And of course, I would become better, sharing this because I went through so many people. Gary made the comment a couple weeks ago, Daryl, man, I'm getting really good on doing these three-way conference calls with his team. And he said, you know why? I said, why? Because I'm doing lots of them now. So when you do 1 or 2, you're a certain way. When you do 5 or 10, you're a certain way. When you start doing 15 and you get to 30 and 50, you know what to say, how to say it, etc. And that makes all the difference for most people. Do you have a goal? Most people don't. Who knows about your goal? So if you don't have one, nobody's going to know about it. If you have one, let your people know. I know what Gary's goals are, when he's going ambassador, what his team is doing, what the team goals are for this month, etc. If you're not getting that descriptive, that might be keeping you from ranking up. Can you be disciplined? The answer is yes, but you need to answer that for yourself and do some research with Todd or me or some of the other leaders or online. How can I become more disciplined? Well, I'll tell you one thing you can do to become more disciplined is simply you have to have a desire to be successful. You have to have reasons to be successful. You got to make a decision. There's more to that. I'm going to break that down next Saturday. But if you want to learn how to become a discipline, you have to have a significant desire to become successful. You have to have reasons to do that. And then you make a decision. If you have those 3, you're almost there. There's about 4 more things I add to that, but that will help you become disciplined. Do you have a plan of action? Again, I'll go back to my buddy Gary. I'll go back to Pastor Terry, Dr. Terry and Thomas. They have a plan of action and they're working it. One of the reasons why her business just exploded is that, guess what? She started doing Zooms almost every single night. Something about them Zooms, something about getting people in front of these presentations, and her group has literally exploded. 3-star, 4-star. She could literally be an ambassador, within the next 15 days to 30 days. She's on purpose, she's on point, and her system is working. 7, what is your why? You got to understand that. We kind of talked about that with the other question. Is your why big enough? If it's not big enough, as soon as somebody says boo or says no or gives you a question about this or a question about that, then you're going to be just like them in a job that you don't like, doing something you don't like to do. You will not have 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday. Who's your coach? Who's your mentor? And are they engaged with you on a regular basis? If you're trying to do this on your own, you're missing the point. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player arguably on the planet, and there's about 4 or 5 people in that category, including, LeBron. I really like him as well.
I'm a Chicago guy. No. Go. I'm teasing. Go ahead.
MJ, absolutely. But guys, do you know what? These guys, they had coaches, but they had nutritional coaches. They also had mental coaches. They have weightlifting coaches. They had other coaches. Here's the reason why you need to be in touch with the Todd. You need to be in touch with the Daryl Maria, a Gina, or Coach D, or Dr. Terry, etc. We can see your blind spots. You may be thinking you're doing the right thing, but if we don't know what your goals are, we don't know what your objectives are, there's some blind spots you've got that you are not seeing. And if the world's greatest, Michael, can actually have coaches, multiple coaches, to help him continue to get better, you definitely need to have a coach as well. So find a coach or mentor. My recommendation, have 2 or 3. Some people relate differently with individuals. And sometimes this person may say it a certain way and it just doesn't resonate with you. But this person says it in the other way. And then, oh, okay, God, that's a breakthrough now. I got it. And that's why I think Todd and I work so well off of one another. And are you prepared? This is the last one. Are you prepared to put in the 3 to 5 years? Again, guys, this is not, well, I sign up today and let's see what happens tomorrow or the next week or two. Are you prepared to put in 3 to 5 years? And we're going to be going deep dive into some of these things, all the rest of the stuff we talked about next Saturday. Todd, I cannot wait. The things we're handing out, the things we're going to be talking about, the Q&A private sessions we're going to be having, the breakout sessions we're going to be having. People are going to wish they were there, and the ones who are there, their businesses are going to be exploding. Absolutely awesome.
Hey, well, you said it well earlier. Your income is the average of your 5 closest friends, guys. Joe, Maria, they got a 7-figure business. You could spend all day with Daryl and Maria, right? Finding out, hey, what do you do? What do you think? Getting the handouts. I mean, again, it's going to elevate your level of thinking. It's going to elevate your level of vibration. You're going to come out of there juiced, right? And so, again, it's one of those things that, am I intentional in my business? Am I doing the things I need to do? Being on a training call like today, being at the event next week, being on the Zoom later today. We got 2 of them, got another one tomorrow, right? Am I intentional? Am I doing the things I'm supposed to do? And if you do those things consistently over time, you're going to get the result. And so unbelievable. Great information there, Daryl.
Quick announcement real quick. Misty Harlow out of Southern California. You and I spoke to her. She was enrolled by Anna Rafi out of the UK. She lives in LA. She said, I just booked my hotel for the training. She's going to be here next Saturday for 2 nights at the Westgate Hotel. I saved $557 versus Expedia. I cannot wait to meet this lady. We've spoken to her a few times on the phone. Todd, I believe she is a superstar in the waiting, and she's definitely going to get some incredible direction next week. But excited about what's coming up today. 2 different opportunities, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, we're going to be back on the Zoom, not this channel. We're going to be over at meetupworldwide.com. Maybe we'll put the flyer up one more time. Watch this, hands-free. I'm going to put the flyer up. Hands-free. I'm going to try this. See if I can
use you guys. You guys are silly.
So, again, we're going to be
you gotta have a producer. If you don't have a producer, guys, you have to get a producer. Todd, the only thing I keep talking about I don't have is these headsets, because sometimes she gives me information, or if I miss something, she'll do it. I just got to have a headset so I hear it and you guys don't hear it. But that's the only thing. And I think
Daryl, just go out and get the AirPods, right? And just got to put one right here, right? Yeah. Guys, hold on. I'm getting live information right. Okay, so anyway, but in an hour and 45 minutes, we are going to be here at meetupworldwide.com, or you get the Zoom number. You guys can screenshot that. You can take a picture of that. But be there. Hour and 45 minutes from now is the first one. And then again at 1:30 California time, 4:30 East Coast. All you have to do is invite people. How many people can you invite to come watch the live pricing demonstration? So, hey, Daryl, Maria, you guys are absolutely incredible. Give Daryl some hearts, some thumbs up, some love. We'll see you guys in an hour 45. Till then, God bless. Bye, everybody.
Send me the link.